Mysterio's hiding a mystery. Here's your look at the Hasbro Marvel Studios Spider-Man Mystery Web Gear Marvel's Mysterio. The Master Illusionist Mysterio battles his foe Spider-Man using his wits and the technology embedded into his suits. Just before we spend some more time with Mysterio, how about the first thing we do is figure out how tall he stands. I don't know why I'm whispering. Let's bring in my ruler, though. I'm going to put it right to the very top of his head. And Marvel's Mysterio stands 5 3/4 of an inch tall, or 14.5 centimeters tall. The figure should be available now in all retail stores. I found these figures over on Entertainment Earth's website, and I'll provide the link down below in the video description if you guys are interested to pick these up for yourself as well. Let's bring in the previously looked at figures. Here he is next to the regular Spider-Man suit, to which he's about just a little bit shorter than Spidey. And speaking of small Spideys, were we talking about small Spideys? Here he is next to the Iron Spider's suits. Too small of a Spider-Man. He's actually much shorter than Mysterio. So I've done it from highest figure to lowest figure. And the fact that they're both Spider-Man on either side, bookending Mysterio, they really, again, should have been the exact same height of a figure. But anyways, on to Mysterio's now accessories. He comes with one accessory, once again, that you can see in the packaging, and another one that's an absolute mystery. There's no way at all you'll ever know what accessory it is unless you happen to see the packaging in the store, and unless you happen to look at the side of the packaging right where the question marks are. They'll tell you right there. Plain as day. Easy to see. They probably, again, should have put these in black baggies or something to make the illusion a little bit more real, but again, if you just looked at the side of the packaging where the question marks lure you to, you'd know right away what the accessory is. What is said accessory, just in case you're curious? Well, it's this. Didn't mean to surprise you here. It actually looks like one of those electronic egg beaters. You know, you put things into froth up milk. Who uses those? Grown-up people who are old and have too much time on their hands. That's the kind of people that use those. But yeah, again, it's using sort of this translucent honey yellow plastic. This can attach onto not necessarily Mysterio's arms, because when you look at Mysterio's arms, they're way too big. They're not going to accommodate Mysterio. So it certainly serves then as like an add-on piece to go along with a regular Spider-Man. So let's just we'll grab this Spider-Man here, for example. This just clips onto his arm. The longevity, though, of these clips worries me because, again, they're using translucent yellow plastic. Had a tough time getting that out. So again, fitting that over his arm works the first time, works the second time, works probably the first 20 times that you do it. But then after that, I have to wonder if this is going to start cracking over time. Again, there's the translucent plastic there. I mean, it works for at least fun little accessories that kids can attach onto their Spidey figures. It's there. We'll just say it's there. Let's move Spider-Man out of the way and actually focus our attention on the accessory that comes included with Mysterio. He comes with an illusion construct. He only comes with one of them, but at least it attaches into his hand. It attaches into his hand, being that he has a little plug here. He literally just holds it. So it doesn't even actually clip onto his hands. It's something he just holds. We go ahead and pick the figure up. It doesn't really matter which hand you decide to do it with, but let's grab this hand. And all you just do is take the peg and just wiggle it down into his hand. And there he has the construct. If you kind of just ignore this part of it, it actually looks like he's got like a little illusion that attaches to his hand. I kind of, again, wish he could have had more than one of these, but he had to free up the space for, like, that milk frother that we could attach then onto Spider-Man. I like this, though. I do like the way that they've done that in that translucent green plastic instead of the yellow. And it has some really interesting-looking sculpting going for it. Almost looks like it's got a center eye or a ball of yarn that a little kitten can play with. Oh, adorable little kittens. Let's go ahead and take this now out of his hand and have a closer look now at Mysterio. Now, Mysterio does have a cape that seems like it could be removed. It would just involve you taking the top of his dome off and then just sliding the cape off. I don't really know why you would want to help reinforce it and keep it in place. You can see that there's a peg right there that will then fit into the hole that's on the back of his torso. It's only mildly suggested because once you put it in there, I mean, it so easily comes back out of his torso, but at least it's more than enough, I think, to keep somewhat in place while you're moving and playing around with the figure. Looking at his dome, for example, not really much in the way of a head here, but I do like the coloring that they've used for the dome, a really dark silver. And you can see the gold down below as well. Even though he does have what almost would look like an unmovable head, he does actually have a ball joint. We'll talk more about that when we talk about the figure's articulation. So I do like the coloring of his head. I don't think that they needed to jazz that up a bit by adding some illusion effects or making a see-through dome. Just painting it silver is more than enough for this fan of Mysterio. I'm happy with the head. I'm happy with the way the head sculpt looks. As for the rest of his body, the body does have additional articulation in the arms, similar to what the Spider-Man was, so we're going to look at that in a second. But I do like the coloring of the green that they went with. It's a really nice dark metallic green that would also work really well for a green goblin. I'm curious if we are going to be getting, even though this packaging really doesn't allude at being Spider-Man No Way Home, but I hope we certainly get some other villains released in this set other than just the Mysterio here. The coloring on his vest is pretty good as well. It's not quite the same coloring that they used here for the gauntlets. You can see like it's almost got more of a slightly more rusted greenish tint to it, whereas the gauntlet gloves are actually more of a more solid looking gold. I guess it's actually gold plastic, where they really didn't have to go in there and actually paint it at all. Some nice additional blue effects that have been added to the top as well as the sides of the vest. I like the coloring is really good on this. The cape as well is pretty elaborate too, considering it is a basic class figure, to the point where they actually not only sculpted the inside of the cape, but also painted the diamonds on the sides as well, and that's the case on both sides. The cape is fairly soft enough. Not that this is something you will be doing a lot with your figures, but I tend to seem to do this a lot with reviews. The cape is sculpted decently as well. You see little folds on the top of the cape. I always like when they do that on the top of the cape instead of just making a flat piece of plastic. I'm not going to buy into a cape that just looks like a flat piece of plastic. This is more of a convincing looking cape. For the figure's articulation, the head is on a ball joint, and it does rotate back and forth. Although slick to the touch, and it certainly doesn't help that I'm using moisturizer either. It's hard to hold on to the head, but the head goes up and down a little bit, and it also rocks back and forth a little bit as well. Now the arms at least do have a hinge joint, mentioned already in the earlier reviews, that these aren't just standard 5-point articulated figures. No, you can move the arms back and forth, you can move the arms out this way as well. He has a bend at the elbow on both hands, and you can also rotate the glove. No articulation in the hands though, just at the top of the glove, where you can see there's the hinge joint right there on the elbow, also rotates back and forth. No waist swivel, and then when it comes to the legs go forward for those high kicks, hi-ya, and he also has the legs that go back a little bit. Pegs, by the way, on the undersides of their feet, not only in just the Mysterio, but the other two Spider-Men that we looked at earlier as well. So if you do have the constructs, those little mystery effect gear parts that you want to add on to the Spider-Man figures, again, the figures are going to be a little more top-heavy, then by all means you can use yourself a display stand. Doesn't come included with the figures, but yeah, you got yourself the display stand. Let's go ahead and add, once again, his mystery effect. It's not so much a mystery effect like his little illusion effect. There we go. Nice-looking Mysterio. And again, we can bring in the other Spider-Man. Let's just move him a little more in the middle here. Want to make that presentable after all. Let's bring in the other Spider-Man. I don't know how well he's going to stand. Actually, this one's not too bad. It's not as heavy as maybe the other things that he's come included with. And then here he is next to the Iron Spider. So far, 3 figures of the brand new Mystery Web Gear Spider-Man figures that are out right now. Having a look at, just wrapped up things now with Mysterio. I like the look of Mysterio. More villains, please. More villains, Hasbro, please and thank you. Because, of course, you're going to have all these Spider-Men. It, goes without saying that if you're going to have a movie tie-in, usually you're going to have tons of Spider-Man and maybe one, at the very least, maybe 2 villains added. But no, add more villains, more, please and thank you. Because we can't just have Mysterio by himself fighting the many Spider-Man. That's not going to be fair for Mysterio, and it's certainly not going to be fair for you if you're looking to pick up these figures for yourself. The only thing that kind of stinks about Marvel's Mysterio is the fact that his mystery web gear item is intended for Spider-Man. So if you're not planning to pick up a Spidey and you only really wanted to get the Mysterio, then the accessory that comes included with him, mystery or not, isn't really going to be helping the figure at all. It would have been nice if the mystery web gear item was intended for Mysterio, but the whole idea is that you're buying this figure and then the mystery web gear is sort of the tease to make you buy Spider-Man later on. Kind of like when you get a free coupon at the end of purchasing your meal. Well, I'm not going to use this coupon now. You mean to tell me I have to come back another visit to use the buy one, get one free sub coupon? That's kind of like what Mysterio's getting. He's not getting a buy one, get one free sub, but he's getting himself a mystery web gear item that really is intended for him. It's intended for Spider-Man. Mysterio does look good as a basic class figure. I'm still happy that these figures do have not just 5 points of articulation, but they actually have additional points of articulation. I guess 7 when you consider it. Head, shoulders, elbows, right? That's 5. And then the legs. No articulation in the knees to be found, unfortunately, with these figures, but being the fact, again, that they're movie tie-in basic class figures, usually marketed towards kids, the very idea that we actually got hingeable shoulders and bendable elbows is at least something. And as a walk away from this, I actually do really like the look of Mysterio here. The colors are really nice and very vibrant on him. The use of the metallic green certainly work well and kind of make me again think of Green Goblin. So I certainly hope as well that Hasbro doesn't just start and stop the line with villain-wise, at least just giving us Mysterio. Give us the other villains as well. Please and thank you, Hasbro. Now, if you are looking to pick up these figures for yourself, they are available right now in toy stores or regular retail stores, or I also pick these up over on Entertainment Earth's website, to which I can provide the link down below in the video description if you guys are looking to pick up these for yourself. What do you guys think of the Marvel Studios Spider-Man, Marvel's Mysterio? I know I just threw like Marvel out there a couple of times already. What do you guys think of the figure? Let me know down below in the comment section. Hey now, just to bring attention to the fact that you've now just walked into the room. New member, new viewer to this channel. If you are enjoying the content that you're seeing, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on as well that bell notification so you get those friendly reminders whenever new videos are going to be popping up. And yes, we are going to be looking at new Spider-Man reviews coming your way in not so distant future. Again, I don't know why I'm whispering. Lots of stuff coming your way, guys. So as always, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.